Dr. Vivian. There we go. Dr. Vivian, how you doing there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Now I can get my PowerPoint presentation. Sorry for the technical issue. All right. So our slogan is connect. Actually, the word connect from Danielle, idea from Danielle, connect and united to empower. That is the slogan of the Hong Kong Homeschool Association.
Yes, yeah. Let
me turn it.
Hello? Where's your school bag? Sorry. 着鞋啦.
So the first 5 to 10 minutes would be the PowerPoint presentation by me. And then after that would be our team leader self-introduction, Danielle and Kaiko.
Sienna, where's your
And
mask?
then after that would be get to know each other, member self-introduction time. And then after that, follow Danielle will lead the meeting. And then Kaiko leads the meeting. This is our agenda for today's meeting. The Hong Kong Homeschool Association is founded by you and me. We together as a team. It's not an individual effort. It's a team effort to support homeschool movement, SEM, gifted, and 2E exceptional learners. Our team are uniquely qualified to take on this very important role and to empower our homeschool teacher and homeschooler. So our vision is empower homeschool teacher, homeschoolers, SEM, gifted, and 2E learners to empower you to make homeschool journey and your learning, teaching simple, enjoyable, and rewarding for all parties involved. 3, provide homeschool teacher and parent the necessary information and resource they need to support their homeschoolers' learning journey. 4, provide homeschooler and homeschool teacher the chance to interact. It is important to interact and to grow, to learn from one another through activities like access to the world-class and reasonably priced online learning platforms. I will pull in the platforms for world-class one for homeschool community. And also education talks, homeschool support groups, lessons for both homeschoolers and homeschool teachers. We will organize some travel together, talent show, debates for homeschooler, homeschool meetups, homeschool student council. We hope to build this for the homeschooler. And preparation section for university entrance exams. I know everyone's final goals for their kids is going to the university. All right, so we'll work on that to empower you for this. 5, create a solid and ongoing homeschool network. Right now, our homeschool network is really not ongoing and it's not powerful. We want to make it powerful for the homeschool teacher and student and for everyone. It's a continuous movement. We want it to be like that. All right. So it's need you to participate in it. 6, provide tangible homeschool support and homeschool resources for you and for your student. And very important, 7, ensure knowledge transfer. It's very important for knowledge transfer. Once you understand the knowledge, once you understand the information, it will be making your homeschool journey very smooth. So what we hope to build, aim to build. First, homeschool monthly newsletter. 2, homeschool teaching courses aim to empower homeschool teacher to be a very effective teacher. Right now, a lot of homeschool teacher doubt their ability. Can I teach my kid? In fact, you can. The best teacher is you, parents, to your kid, because of the unconditional love you have for your children. We will empower you to be the best teacher for your children. 3, homeschoolers learning courses. We will provide courses for the homeschooler learn, like phonics course, English course, French course, everything you need to have to empower your kids to be an independent and active learner. I can even pull in Educator to provide video talks to empower the homeschooler to be an active and independent learner. 4, homeschool ebook, a complete homeschool guide. Right now, we don't know what to do when you want to homeschool. What is homeschool and how to homeschool in Hong Kong? We have no complete information. Our association will aim to build that for you. So when you read the ebook, and you will know everything about homeschool in Hong Kong, the method, the pedagogy, and the laws, everything. 5, homeschooler student council. 6, regular education talk. As I told you before, I will invite my friends, educator, university teacher, high school teacher, or even professor from overseas to give you talk to empower you and empower your learning. 7, regular meetup for both homeschool teacher and homeschoolers to give you the chance to socialize with the other homeschool family, to make friends with them, to build relationship with them, just like when I see Keiko, and we met each other very often in the past. So we talk about the past. So that is the friendship, that is the bond that we build together through our homeschool journey. So to achieve the great success and to build a sustainable homeschool community, we need team effort. You, me, everyone in here, not individual effort, not my effort alone. It won't work. It has to be team effort, include everyone here. Team member, let's connect and united to empower our homeschool community. Thank you. So,
Diana,
our next agenda would be the self-introduction. First, Danielle, please.
Thanks so much, Dr. Vivian. I hope you don't mind. I am not well, so I'm doing this with half a voice, but I'm Danny Johnson. I've been in Hong Kong since March. So I'm fresh meat in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is absolutely awesome. We came here from South Korea. Before that, we were in the UAE. Before that, we were in South Africa. Before that, we were in a whole lot of places. We have not lived in South America or in Australia and Oceania. We have homeschooled since 2011, so it's a long time. I got 2 kids, 2 girls. One's 20, and she's off. She actually staffs a YWAM base in the middle of Sweden already, so she's off on her missions, and it's brilliant. And then I have a 17-year-old special needs daughter here that we are homeschooling. We've done multi-curriculum.
Okay, I can't help you right now.
And guys, if you can make sure you're muted, that would be fantastic. Thanks. We are eclectic homeschoolers. So if you don't know what that is, I can let you know, or you can look it up. We're eclectic homeschoolers. We've done unschooling as well. We use multi-curriculums. And then I've been responsible for starting co-ops and educational and leadership initiatives in different parts of the world, as well as building homeschool communities. And so for me, I only have about a year left of homeschooling. But being here and seeing what you guys have done here is phenomenal. It's beautiful. You guys have created an amazing, like so many groups. And so for me, I'm just basically here to be a social architect for you guys and just to help connect you guys further for the sustainability of the homeschool community for years to come. So that's me. We'll go over to Keiko now.
Just unmute my audio. Hi, I'm Keiko. So I have 3 kids. I have almost 17-year-old in January, 15-year-old, and almost 11-year-old this month. I've been homeschooling from the beginning, so my kids have all never gone to school before. And we were in Hong Kong all the way up until COVID. And then when COVID hit, we were backpacking at the time, just traveling Asia, and our flights got canceled. So we didn't end up making it back to Hong Kong. We got stuck in Thailand as we were trying to get out of Japan, Singapore. So end up in Thailand. Our flights were canceled. And so I've been living in Thailand for the last almost 4 years now. During this time, we continued the homeschooling, but also, kind of took a really long break and let the kids process and digest what was going on. And then during this time, my 2 sons joined a swim program.
Vienna.
Sorry, can I just ask, is it Genevieve? Genevieve, can I get you to just mute your, no, don't worry. Just because I lose my train of thought. Anyway, so my older sons joined a swim program, and we actually had been separated from their dad for over 1.5 years. And I felt like we got some consistency here, so we decided to stay. And then my daughter, she's been doing sailing and all these other great activities while she's been here. So we're currently trying to transition back and forth, but the boys are pretty much settled in Thailand. So in terms of our homeschooling journey, I think we started off in Montessori, doing child-led. So this was when they were much younger, and that slowly progressed into more of an unschooling approach. And I think if we think about what's going on now with the teenagers, it's really more self-directed learning. We have them doing less sort of traditional education focused things and more interest-led business. So my younger son is curious about drop shipping and has some business ideas. So we are fully supporting the time and effort towards that. My older son decided that he was going to write his GED to see if he could do it. There were some courses that he wanted to do that required at least a GED or high school equivalent. So at 16, he went to go write his GED exams just to try it out and see. And he scored very, very well and was then able to use the GED certificate to go on to do the other certifications that he wanted to work on. So I think we are not following a traditional education path, but still supportive of them going to university if that's what they decide that they want to do. So we always keep the path and options open. But in terms of timeline, we've given them quite a lot of space to decide on their own and make mistakes, and to come back to the conclusion for themselves what and how they want to pursue their future. So it is a little bit more of a, I sit back a little bit and kind of let them do their thing, which is quite an anxiety causing, I think sometimes causes quite a lot of anxiety. But so far, I think we're moving along. Every year we assess how it's going, and I think there's been great progress and the kids are doing really well. But in terms of this community, I just wanted to introduce myself and say hi, and I'm open for any sort of, if you want to message me or chat, discuss what you're doing with your kids. I'm always available. So nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Keiko. Thank you for the self-introduction. It's amazing and wonderful way of homeschool. And I love your pedagogy for teaching your kids. Daniel, could you please lead the self-introduction section? Lead everyone to give a self-introduction. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so Dr. Vivian, she loves her lists. She has a list. And so let's go with that. Right. I'm coming. Right. So I'm Danny. We've got Stephanie Bina. Is Stephanie Bina here?
Yeah, I am here. I don't. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm here. But is there any video for me?
There
I don't
is
know. It says my.
currently. Are you able to turn on your video? We'd love to see you. Hey, and guys,
Yeah, it
I'm in
says
my
your.
pajamas,
I
so
think
like we don't mind.
it says that I think my phone is in driving mode, so I don't know why. It says your microphone is unmuted, your video is stopped, so I don't really know how to do that. And then I click on my photo and I see the video here, but I don't know how to make it there.
That's okay. That's okay. Your phone has decided it is unsafe to turn your video on. So we'll meet another time. But Stephanie, thank you for joining. Then we have Sandra. Hey, Sandra, would you introduce yourself? There you go.
Hi everyone. I'm Sandra. I am in Hong Kong. I have 5 kids, and I've been homeschooling for 10 years now. My oldest is 16, and my youngest is 6. So there's a 10 years gap. I have 1 daughter and 4 sons. So it's always a party here. And not all of my kids are homeschooled. I currently have my 8-year-old going to school and my 12-year-old. My 12-year-old has just begun school this month. I see homeschool as a good method for kids who do well in it. I don't think homeschool is for everyone or every family, even every child. I think we all have different needs, whether as individuals or families. And for a lot of people, homeschool is definitely a luxury because they probably need, one of the parents to be with them, to support them. And a lot of people cannot do that. So I'm really grateful for, for the past 10 years that I have had the opportunity to.
It's okay.
To just.
It's not gonna. Let me
support
wipe
my
your mouth
kids
while you're here,
whatever way
okay?
they need.
Can I wipe your mouth with a wet towel?
So, yeah, I'm happy to be here meeting everyone. Thank you.
Sorry, Stephanie, can I get you to mute your phone? Is that okay?
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Sandra. That's amazing. 5 kids. That is phenomenal. Come on. Yeah, exactly. 5 kids. And you look that good. That's amazing. I have 2. I'm still struggling. Like, it's just a reality. Right, Dr. Vivian, I'm going to ask you if you can, on Kiko and my picture, there are 3 little dots in a button next to the mute button. And if you click on that, you can go down and it says make co-host. So if you make both co-hosts, then we can
and
help
then
you.
make co-host. Oh
On
yeah, right. Okay, thank you. You are better
There
than me
we
for
go.
using the Zoom.
That's okay.
Thank you.
That's okay. Right. Next, we've got Genevieve. Genevieve, would you mind
yes.
introducing yourself?
Yes, here is Genevieve, and I got 2 kids. The older one is just 13, and the younger one is 4, going to be 5 this month. Actually, my younger daughter has been homeschooled for around a couple of months, and I found it very good because I had the time for her, and then she made significant progress, and then actually she knows a lot during that period of time. But then afterwards, I sent her back to school, and yeah, that's where we are. And then I'm definitely interested in homeschool, but at the moment, I don't really have time to teach her. And the eldest son, I can't teach him because he's like year 9 in ESF now. And after talking to Dr. Lai, and because I don't have time for him, it would be better for him to stay at school at the moment. But if there's something that he can learn by himself and something that can evaluate his understanding I would definitely interested, for him to homeschool. Yeah, and I'm staying in Hong Kong at the moment, obviously. Also, that's about me. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone's time, and it's good to know you all.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Genevieve. We appreciate that. Next person on the list I don't think is here, Kay. Is Kay here? I don't see them, so we'll move on. Joyce. Is there a Joyce? Doesn't look like it. Okay, we'll keep going. Jian. Jian? Guys, I don't know why you're getting me to do this. I'm African. Half these names I don't know how to pronounce.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Jian, the 13-year-old daughter. We've been homeschooling since 2018. And yeah, a little bit before, after about 2 years before that, I got it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Eliza? Eliza?
Yes, hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Alisa, and I have 3 kids. And my child, one is 4 years old, and my boy is like going to be 8, and my daughter is 10 years old. And currently, I'm just homeschooling my daughter who is 9 years old, because she was like suffering from anxiety in school, and she was getting stomachache every day. After the COVID, we find out that she could do well at home, studying, having self-studies. And I tried to homeschooling her, and right now we have been homeschooling for 1 year. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, I'm happy to meet you all and know all this community. Yeah, and yeah, that's for the moment. Thank you, everybody.
Eliza, that's fantastic. And thank you for being brave enough to homeschool.
Thank you.
It's not an easy thing. So thank you for that. Etta, I don't think Etta is here. Vilma, my friend Vilma. Hello, my sweetheart.
Good morning. Morning, Danny. Yeah, I'm feeling unwell as well. But I'm originally from the Philippines. So we moved here in Hong Kong last year. My homeschooler is an 8-year-old boy. He's in primary year 3. So yeah, I work full time, and I have my sister assisting me. So we're using the distance learning online by BJU. And yeah, happy to be part of this group. And it's good to feel you're not alone homeschooling. Yeah, I think that's it, Danny.
Wow. Thank you, Vilma. Vilma and I have just gotten back from a week in Malaysia at a conference with over 6,500 people. So that's why we're struggling with a voice and energy, and we're still recovering. So Vilma, you're here. It's a miracle. Come on. Thank you, Jesus. Right. Okay. We also have Leslie. Is Leslie here?
Yeah.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi. So yeah, I'm Leslie. I'm from France originally, living in Hong Kong for almost 18 years. I have 2 kids, one boy 10 and one girl 15. And they are not homeschooling, but it's always been kind of my wish or my kind of backup plan. They are currently still going to school, and they do enjoy, but they're not super academic. And so I have been always kind of, open to the homeschooling, and even kind of thinking they would do better actually, but not feeling capable or having enough time as I'm a single mom to be able to give all this time. So I was always kind of looking for resources and what to follow. And I'm really very happy that I actually meet Vivian Dr. Vivian, which I get along very well and we are friends, and she gave me so much advice, and I am so happy today to see all this manifesting into this community, and so we can actually guide and giving a foundation to follow, because it's kind of, I find it quite you know, when you go against kind of the normal flow, you know, anywhere in the world, you can feel kind of daunting, and having a group and a community to come together give you more strength and guidance, so you feel that you're doing the right thing for your child. So that's kind of, you know, what I've been kind of looking for, and knowing more what to do and what to follow. Even if they are still in school, I just like to pave the way, because for example, my daughter is in S4. She's doing a DSC, which I'm not sure she's going to be able to manage. And so for me, I'm just getting ready kind of to be able to assist and take over. And so, yeah, so nice to meet you all. And I'm great and grateful to Dr. Vivian and all of you to come together so we can manifest all this. Yeah.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien.
There we go. Merci beaucoup, Leslie. Thank you so much. Great to hear your story. And we now have Mr. Dennis. I understand from Vivian that Mr. Dennis is a lecturer at 4 universities here. No, that's not you.
So yeah, I've been bigged up so much, and I get really uncomfortable with it. I don't like this. I don't like this kind of flattery. So hey, how
That's
you
perfect.
doing? Nice to see you all. So I'm Dennis. I've been in Hong Kong for 22 years. My background is HR, and I'm a communication skills and presentation skills trainer so I do a lot of investment banking and insurance companies. I train their leaders how to do presentation skills, but I get called into universities, so I facilitate learning. I don't lecture at Hong Kong U, City U, Baptist and Chinese University in Hong Kong, like an adjunct, someone we bring in for like special skills training. So I've got an issue where he's just emerging from his pit now. I've got 2 boys and one 13-year-old who's at normal face-to-face school, and I've got a 15-year-old who suffers from deep anxiety. And I'm going to have to, I've just pulled him out of his school. He was at homeschool for 6 months. I put him into a school. He got attacked on his 2nd day. And so I've been dealing with the repercussions from that. So I'm putting him back onto homeschool. Now, let's just for me, there's a difference between like homeschool, which is I can hear that some people are doing, which is teaching their own children. And I can't do that because I'm just dumb, right? I can't. If you think I can teach algebra, nah. So I've been looking at the again, another online platform, which is probably going to be King's Inter High, which is a British one let out the UK. And I'm a little bit worried because it's got really good reviews and some terrible reviews at the same time as well. So I'm just trying to balance myself out with that. So what I thought I could offer to the group here is communication skills training, presentation skills training for the kids at some point on a semi-regular basis. If you think that's a help, I'd love to help out that way and see how I can contribute to your group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Love that. And it's great to have you. And that's why we're here building this community, is for people who have had to also pull their kids out, you know, in trauma and in emergency. So, it's a brave thing for a parent to do that. It's a very brave thing. So well done. Right. The next person on the list, sorry, I have to go back to the list, is Eldrin. Is Eldrin here? No? Okay, great. Arshi? Nope. Okay. Munira? Okay. Siksik? No, Jillian? Ruby. Oh no, Carol. Carol. Is there someone here called Carol? No, Ruby? I saw a Ruby. Yes, Ruby's there.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good
My
morning.
name is Magandang umaga. I'm Ruby. Came from Philippines. Yeah. I've been great that we joined this homeschool in Hong Kong. I have 3 kids. I have 11, 8, and 3 years old. And before they came from regular school, and both of us, my husband and I, decided them to homeschool, and we've been so grateful for that decision because we're really so blessed because because our goal will be homeschool because we are wanted to we are the one who first impact or influence our kids, because not only to learn but for us is to influence them a good character, to send our children outside as a good person, so we see that result because we are doing for this for 3 years. It's not easy. Homeschooling is a calling, not like to decide, not simple like, oh, I go to homeschool like that. But we learn a lot. I learn a lot with patience. We are not a teacher, but we actually will learn. Both of us, our kids and us, will learn for this homeschooling. So we have a supplier from Homeschool Global under the curriculum, US curriculum. Yeah. So we're the kids and I were doing well for homeschool. Actually, they enjoyed a lot. Sometimes because homeschooling is not for. Sometimes you get trouble. I always tell them, okay, if you're not doing well, we're going back to local school. And they don't like. They enjoy homeschooling together. So they are not actually learning about knowledge, but the basic skills in everyday's life. That's how we teach them. Yeah, so we're really glad that we joined this community because we have another community also. Maybe I'm the one who joined this community because I wanted also to share it in our other group. We have a lot of Filipino homeschooler also here in Hong Kong. So maybe later I will share it to them. Yeah, and we're really excited because one of our worried is how we can enter university here in Hong Kong, because I always heard that illegal, the homeschooler is illegal before the EDV is coming in our home. If you know, they visit in our home to check if our children is really learning. But we praise God for that wisdom that okay, let's welcome them to see how we do homeschooling. And we don't even say like no, but this is how our children learn than before in local school. We really praise God for that because it's really different when we homeschool. We influence a lot our children. Yeah, that's why we really blessed for homeschooling. We discovered homeschooling. Yeah, and thank you so much for Dr. Lai, because I messaged her. I'm so brave to meet hi ma'am, like that. And she welcomed me. I'm so thankful, Dr. Vivian, for welcoming me for homeschooling group. Yeah.
That's amazing, Ruby. And Homeschool Global is a fantastic program.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's great that you're here, and also that there's a Homeschool Global here because we'd love to include them in as well.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah,
I did miss out Elaine, and I'm sorry, Elaine, please forgive me. It was literally, me being stupid. So Elaine, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, it's okay. Because I just heard that you and Sandra, right? Or your friend just came back from Malaysia. I thought that, yeah, I'm Malaysian.
Yes,
Yeah.
come on.
Yes,
Malaysia
Malaysia boleh. So I hope our homeschool association can be boleh as well. Boleh means we can make it. Yeah. Hi all. Good morning all. I'm Elaine. I'm Malaysian and married my husband, who is a Hong Konger since 18 years ago. So I've been here for 18 years. I have a homeschooler girl, is just turned 13 years old. For me, because I'm from Malaysia. At the time when my girls start to have the kindergarten, I have a culture shock because I didn't know that I have to go through like so many interviews for 3 to 4 years old girls to have those kind of interviews. But at that time, very sadly to say that my girls times only know how to speak English because I mainly taught her in English and Mandarin. So story cut short, there's a big culture shock. I was really, and I'm not really fond on the system here. So we choose the private kindergarten, and in the end we turned to the international school because my girls was diagnosed a global delay at that time. So I thought that, yeah, maybe we choose a special school for her to not that lose the learning, the fun of learning. Why we choose homeschool is after her primary. So which means we have been start about like 2 years plus now. But we didn't follow many of your, actually I saw from the WhatsApp chat, wow, you guys are so fantastic. A lot of research, a lot of like follow this system, follow that system. But for us, I don't have that because I don't have the confidence to really identify, is this really suited for my girl? And also some of them are really costly. So I'm very glad and really, thankful to Dr. Lai. She's willing to help us in sourcing all those is reputable and also is really, is affordable that for us. So because we didn't follow any so-called the structure system from any part of the world, I only engaged my girl for some of the online lessons, the basic one. For my concern is she has her pace to learn, but I'm more really focused on whether she can be independent. So I'm not a qualified homeschool educator, but I'm glad that I'm the mom that really put my times and effort to groom her, like in terms of the kitchen things, the house chores. I make her to be not to be so fussy, not to be so make her to be more resilient, to learn and to know the difficulties. This is for the past 2 years my focus on. So I don't have much homeschooling, what's so-called the method to share with you all, but I have the love. So I'm willing to walk through with all of you. I really hope that the Hong Kong Homeschool Association can be really, we can form it for people like us. We can know that something we can rely on and something can make use on and let our kids to be a happy learner and be a good person for the society. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much, Elaine. We appreciate that a lot. And we're going to jump to Eva because Eva says she's got to go at 8. So we're going to jump to Eva and then we'll go back to the list. So Eva?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Eva. I'm a mother of a 10 years old. We're struggling. We try to do a local school here in Hong Kong, and we struggle a lot. I lucky that I met with Dr. Lai, and she helps. And my background, I have a bachelor in mathematics in University of California. So if there's any like math problem, I think I'm willing and I'm happy to help. And I recently got an education degree from the Education University. And then we are struggling a lot on the curriculum of like local school. And for me, like I regret that I spent most of my life at school, that I don't have a chance to get to know my parents. My parents are teachers. My father is a teacher. My mother is a social worker. And then I spend like most of my time at school. And then I leave home at 17 to study abroad in community college in university. And then like they pass us away after that. So yeah. Nice meeting you all. Hope that we can have more time on engaging and thank you, Dr. Lai.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Eva. And you have a math degree. Anybody here need to talk to Eva about math? Yeah, exactly. Eva, you're going to get a lot of calls.
Thank you.
When it comes to high school, oh my gosh, I outsource that. I'm like,
Well, I can teach statistics, I can teach university math, but I have a very hard time on teaching like counting and like addition and subtraction to my 3 years old at that time, because her school curriculum that need her to do mathematics like addition, and yeah, I struggle a lot. But like the higher, like the more it goes, I can help.
fantastic. I
Thank you.
love it. Come on, all the talents brought together.
So
I
I can do the really low level stuff.
Here
I
we
can
go.
do the like the counting. I'm really good at counting. So between you and me, Eva, we got it covered, all right?
Come on, this is what it's about. Everybody bring their bit. I love it. I love it. Okay, I think Carrie and Yin are not here, but Janet is here. Janet, would you like to intro yourself?
Yeah, I'm here. All right. Okay. So good morning, everyone. I'm Janet, and I have a 4-year-old boy, a little boy. He is in kindergarten right now, and I'm a very new for homeschool, and I want to do more preparation for how to make a homeschool schedule with my little son, and because I don't know how to arrange it better, so hope I can learn more about this area from every of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. I love it. Learning. We never stop that. Right. Samantha here. Nope. Eva's Glory. I don't think Glory is here. Anne Wong.
Hi.
Yep.
Morning.
Hey.
Well, it's really early for me.
You and me
So,
both.
yeah, well, my journey, I think, well, the interesting part about my journey is I'm now a Montessori educator. I'm trained ages 3 to 12, but I never wanted to be an educator when I was younger. And my journey began when I had my first child, and I felt that something was quite wrong with the options that were offered, like outside. So the way people were teaching children or were raising children, I just felt that something was wrong. I was a young mom back then, so I had to do a lot of exploration on my own. And so that's how I got into reading about alternative schools of thought, and went on to do the Montessori training in the States and then in the UK. So I spent a lot of time doing that and brought the children along. They enjoyed the space, of course. And when that was done, we were in Hong Kong. I sent them to a Montessori kindergarten, and the first challenge appeared. So the first challenge was my eldest did not want to go to school. I mean, it's already a Montessori kindergarten. It's very free in a sense, and she was refusing to go to school. She was 4 at the time, so that was like the second year. So it's not about adapting already. And I kind of course, had to talk to everyone about, what's going on, why she's not going to school. Was she the only one who doesn't want to go to school in her class? And I made the brave decision to unschool her. So, I mean, my parents were already very liberal people. We are all local, but like they're very liberal. And even they had doubts on why I would be homeschooling my child. I mean, unschooling my child. I said unschooling very particularly there because I was determined to make sure that she would trust herself, she would trust her body, she would trust her environment again. And most importantly, she would trust adults. So that happened for a few months. And one day she told me she's ready for school again. So that was my first successful experience with homeschooling, is to see how a parent can really heal their child from whatever it was. Actually, she never admitted what it was happened at school that made her didn't want to go to school. And so she went back to school to another Montessori kindergarten, and happily stayed there until graduation from kindy. And then we and then I decided to homeschool her for primary school. And COVID hit as well. So I thought I made the best choice. None of that Zoom nonsense. And I have my own Montessori classroom for that. Because of that, I also have to teach other kids to pay the rent. So I became less of a full-time mom and more of a teaching mom. She did very well for 2 years, and she is now off to face-to-face school. She goes to Bloom KKCA, which is like one of the nearest school we can find to homeschooling. They started with a bunch of homeschoolers as well. But the reason I had to send her to school is because I couldn't teach her and the second one together. So they are complete opposites. The first one is very determined. You read Chinese with her, you read it once, twice, 3 times, she remembers all the characters. And the second one is so insensitive towards words. So they're like completely diametrically opposite. And the first one starts to kind of prey on her. So I said, no, I need to deal with the second one. I mean, she's not diagnosed, but I think she shows signs of dyslexia. And she's also pretty much like an HSP, highly sensitive. So very sensitive to noise and very sensitive to like people fiddling with her. So, or meddling with her. So I'm now focused on homeschooling the second one, who's actually just 1 year younger. And I also have a third one who goes to school because the third one's a son, and I don't know why. It's different. The relationship between mother and son is different from mother and daughter. It's a lot easier to teach the daughter, and the son seems to want a lot of independence. So I tried teaching him like on off days, on holidays, on black rainstorm days, and so on. But it's like I teach him for 15 minutes and he's done. But he likes it. So I figured that he can go to school, he can do well at school. He loves bringing home what he learns from school, and we can always build on that. So I think the involvement of a parent in the child's like schooling or educating adventure, it can be very dynamic. Like we have a big range here. We have people who follow strictly a curriculum and people who unschool and follow their interests. We have parents who are doing it full-time. We have parents who are doing it part-time. And that's the best thing about homeschooling. I think it's about your relationship with your child and how you inspire them. And I think like everyone tells me that I can't teach my own kid, my kid will never listen to me. I think from the very beginning, me and my children have a very trusting relationship, and I never manipulate them into doing anything. So it's really a trust that's very important here. And they look up to me for being able to teach them. And I think that is what fuels me on my journey. So next year I met with another challenge because I am now pregnant with number 4 and I don't know how to do it, like teaching the older one, the one who is the more sensitive and less sitting down person, and dealing with a baby at the same time. But right now our method is I teach English with Woolsey Hall, the online curriculum. So they don't offer the teachers, they don't offer video classes. So none of that sitting there wasting time nonsense. But I have to use a curriculum for my, I think, dyslexic child, because otherwise she never makes progress. So this was also a big shock to me. I mean, I'm going very long on this, but my eldest would pretty spontaneously read and write. My third one also does that, but the middle child just doesn't. So you have to follow a curriculum and go these mini steps, do every single thing that's written in the lesson plans, and then she succeeds. So it's a journey, it's a spectrum, and I do math with Montessori, I do science with Montessori, and so if anyone wants more hands-on learning, I can do that. We do math all the way up to 12. So a little bit more than counting and a little bit less than high school algebra. That's where I come in. And I have all sorts of teaching didactic materials that can help visualize some concepts. Okay, thank you for listening to my story.
Fantastic, Anne. Thank you so much. It really sounds like there's a conflict of learning styles and teaching styles. from all your different kids. And that is something we can help you with. That's why we're creating a support system like this to be able to do that. So thank you so much for sharing. Do we have a Winnie? No, Catherine? Nope. Keiko has introduced herself. Brianna? Is there a Brianna? No. Lisa? Okay. Adley? Nope. Okay. Genevieve? Genevieve? Am I saying that right?
Yes. Actually, my name is called like Guinevere, so it's some kind of like old English.
Guinevere.
Yep. Like
was
the Knights of the Round Table.
Yes.
She was Arthur's wife. She was King Arthur's wife.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know that. It's good. It's like many.
I'm British.
Oh, thank you.
When I saw your name, I thought, wow, that's different.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. Carry on. Sorry.
No worries. So like I'm from Macau, but I'm currently in Hong Kong. Well, I've been teaching English for years and in high school, and I'm also a member of Boys Brigade. It's kind of like international. They do kindergarten, primary, and secondary. So after that, it's like I realized I can go for lower ages because I can't hold that. And then after that's why I plan to engage in high school, and then or even more like upper level. So and then for the masters, I engage and specialize in ASEAN. And then what I know is booming and developing. So I'm quite interested and wants to know more in this area. So
fantastic. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Right, there's a couple of people who are not on the list but are here. And if you would like to introduce yourself, we would appreciate that. So we've got Helen. Helen, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Helen. I'm a homeschool. I'm so glad, honestly, I'm so glad I can find so many people talking about homeschooling here. Actually, I have a son who is 5 years old, and then I've been homeschooling him about 2 years, almost 2 years. He went to a PN at the first year of the pandemic. At that time, actually, before he was like 2 years old, he was diagnosed as GDD, global developmental delay, and he was suspected to be ASD as well, and he has also some other disabilities as well. And of course, that time he went to a comparatively international kindergarten. It was like the curriculum was not so tight, but we found that he was not be able to join the group. He has certain kind of like I can't say antisocial behavior at that time, but when there's a group, he's likely to be away from the group. And then so the every time when the school show us the pictures, like okay, with the kids in the classroom, I cannot find my son other than his picture on the chair, because they asked him to sit on that chair with his picture on, but basically I couldn't really find him. And also I received some work that so-called made and then finished by him, but I actually knew that he couldn't really make that unless lots of assistance and help from teachers. And then so we just find it is a little bit like like a trick, and then I feel okay. I felt like okay, your kids finish such things at school, and then but actually he couldn't really do that. And also we were so at that time we received all kinds of government therapies, and then he went through quite a lot of therapies that time, but he was really in bad mood all the time. So after a year, some accidents happened, and then we decided to try to homeschool him. And then since then, we started our own homeschool journey when he was like K1, around K1 time. And then so it went all right because I didn't really go for a curriculum or anything like must do stuff, but I want him to, like my husband and I want him to take care of himself and be independent, and then be able to join the society and be part of his society, and then he knows that more about the environment. So basically we don't teach much academic stuff. Also he can't really sit still, so till now he can't really hold a pen properly or coloring properly. Of course, as a mom, I would say, oh, because lots of people asking, okay, are you going to send him to primary school? He's already 5 years old, because it's around the time he has to apply for primary school. For us, I would say, of course, we don't want to send him to primary school. We want to continue our homeschool journey. But on the other hand, we feel like, oh my God, are we doing the right things? Will we delay his learning? Is it possible to learn reading or writing in later life? There are so many struggles these days. So honestly, I have some about also, I have to take care of him and teach him and all the things, and then bring him around, and then lots of like struggle between us and the argument between us happen. So these days I feel like quite a lot of struggle about if I'm doing the right thing. But I'm so happy that here, not only me in this group, I mean, like just Eva just said about the math. I think she's really good at math, but she found it hard to teach counting as well. Is what I'm thinking, like, why I can't teach my son, because I'm actually a teacher as well, but I really can't teach my son. I just feel like, do I have anything wrong? Did I? So I question myself a lot these days. So I'm so glad I hear the stories here, and then you give me so much energy to support my homeschool journey. So I'm so glad to find this group. Thank you.
Wow, Helen, we're so glad that you've joined. Thank you for bringing who you are here, because this is what we want to create: emotional, academic, psychological, just support system and a community. Because it's not an easy thing. We fight against things that we shouldn't have to fight against, and we have to defend stuff that we shouldn't have to defend, as well as teach our kids.
You're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Thank you.
I don't know about you guys, but I still land up on the floor, in the bathroom, in tears, at least once. And I've been doing this for, over 12 years. So you're not alone in questioning yourself.
I think we all question whether we're doing the right thing for our kids, right?
Yeah.
And as parents, we want to do the right thing, but the fact is, you're showing your child lots of love.
Yep.
That's the one thing they need from a parent, right?
Absolutely.
Education is secondary.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Chloe, would you like to introduce yourself? You can or not, it's up to you. Okay, let's move on. Peter, would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, maybe they're traveling. Is there anybody that we missed out? I see a W there. I'm not sure what your name is. Have you introduced yourself? There we go.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Winnie. I have a boy of 11 years old. We have been homeschooling since 2016. Yeah. I'm the ordinary full-time mom from local. I'm a lot nervous. Yeah, my son now, we have some friends have the learning group together in our village. So why we decide to be a homeschooler, because we are struggling for the local system. I grew up from the local system, so I'm not happy, and there's a lot of pressure for that. So that's why we make this decision. And be honest, we cannot afford for the international school or private school, so that's why we do. Yeah, I tried for the unschooling, teaching him for first few years, and then we luckily find a small community in our village, so that we can support each other for the same similar background children, so they are learning together happily right now. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Winnie. Well, we appreciate you all introducing yourselves, and the fact that you're here saying yes to actually come alongside us to build something is just amazing. So give yourselves a clap. Well done. You made it. You are here saying yes, and yes is a great start. So let me give you a little bit about myself. My heart's desire is for parents as well as kids. But the reality is that often we are schooled in a certain way. And then when we have to homeschool, we struggle. And there's a huge conflict within ourselves on how to do that. And we gain a whole lot of knowledge off of the internet of what we should or shouldn't be doing and how we should or shouldn't be doing it. But one of the things that we don't do is we don't often trust ourselves, because we don't think we have the qualifications, we don't think we have the skills, we don't, and we kind of tend to go to the experts about that. And often if there's not a community support system where people who have done this much longer than yourselves are there to support you and encourage you and say, hey, you're actually on the right track, you're doing the right thing, it's okay. Have you looked at this? Have you looked at that? Because let's be honest, every single child is completely unique, right? And they have a unique learning style as well. There's the general learning styles, and then there's how your child learns. And then every single parent has a teaching style as well. And those can be in conflict, completely in conflict. And that's besides the fact that if you haven't kind of got your head around homeschooling correctly, you'll try and place school at home and call it homeschooling. And when you place school at home, you've literally brought the challenges of school to your house, which means you actually haven't stepped into homeschooling effectively. And with a homeschooler, the statistics are that you'll start homeschooling, and within 3 to 4 years, if you haven't been able to get your mindset correct, if you haven't been able to recognize your own teaching style, your child's teaching style, and have a community to support yourself, it's highly likely that you will give up after 3 to 4 years. which then makes it challenging for your child back in the world. And then obviously as parents, we just feel like an absolute failure. And for the rest of our lives, we feel like we did them wrong. And that obviously affects the parent-child relationship. So for me, for a holistic approach and a successful approach, there are some kids that do well in school. I'm not against schools. There are some kids that do well in homeschool. There are some kids that do well with varying degrees of homeschool, whether it's unschooling, eclectic homeschooling, placing school at home. There's so many different varieties of schooling that it really requires an individual approach. And what we want to do is create, well, my thing is to help create a support network. Because without a support network, you could be doing the best thing for yourself, but and your child. But as soon as those thoughts in your head get louder than what you're doing, because let's be honest, when your kid's doing stuff, they're going through, the curriculum, they're doing well, but then we're always in comparison. Oh, but are they doing as well as this? Are they at this level? Are they at that? Are they that? And as homeschoolers, we always overcompensate. Always. Why? We have to prove we've made the right decision governmentally, family-wise, socially. We're always on the defense. And so being on the defense basically means that we then try and overcompensate. And often we tax ourselves, we tax our children. And so in doing that, you're going to create an environment that is set to fail. It really is going to be set to fail. It's either going to break you or your kids or both of you. And so I'm really interested in supporting emotionally. Academically, we've got, Dr. Vivian, who can help you get all the way to high school and all the way through to university. But for me, my main thing is to help be a social architect for you guys and create like a net where you've got all these different groups, whether they're in DB or in Sai Kung or in Taipo or wherever it is, Kowloon, you look at it as a net, and we want to connect those nets in the boundary of the association. And as one person struggles with something, the net gives there, but there's the support to pull back. So that is one of the most important things to do. Also, training and helping walk alongside parents to understand their learning style, to understand the learning style of the child, the teaching style of the parent, so that you can see where your conflicts are going to be. Both my kids have completely different learning styles. I have a completely different teaching style. I had to learn how my child learns, whether they're auditory, visual, kinesthetic, tactile. We've got to learn these things, but sometimes it's against how I teach. And if that conflict happens, by default, the kid just thinks they can't do this, they're stupid. And as a parent, you kind of go, oh, I suck at this. I might as well get someone else to do it because I don't know how. And so to pull that in, because homeschooling is actually, we learn at the same time. We're in the homeschooling environment. Some homeschoolers believe they should know the lesson before they teach it. A lot of other homeschoolers are like, you know what? We're going to learn together. Often my kids will be like, why does this happen? I'm like, I don't know. Let's ask Google. And in that, they learn that, oh, okay, so mom doesn't know some stuff, so we'll learn together. So if you're coming from the point of view of knowing all that stuff before teaching, man, you're going to be like up till like 3 a.m. trying to learn the math lesson before you teach them the next day. And then you're just going to be in performance trying to pretend like you know what you're doing, and your kid is going to see right through it. They're going to be like, no, can we find someone else to teach us? So that, now the next thing is to connect parent with child. The connection of parent and child is very, very, very important. Homeschooling is healing. Homeschooling is really healing. And to heal that journey of parent and child, to bring the trust back, trusting yourself, your child trusting you, your child trusting themselves is really, really important. And often with homeschoolers, building character within the person to carry what life is going to throw at them is more important than academics. Because let's be honest, even a graduate at a university, once they graduate, they're obsolete. because education is going so quick, right? But if they don't have a love for learning and if they don't have the character to carry what's coming, they're just going to feel like a failure all the time. So we want to empower our kids to keep going regardless of anything else. In terms of like the association, I would love to see things connected. It's not going to function as me being a team project manager. That's not how I function. My functionality is to empower you guys within your groups to create groups and then connect in. Like that's my thing, is that you guys have phenomenal skills to and groups that you can actually empower together and then bring on board to this greater kind of association. And the power of an association is, in Abu Dhabi, we started an association. And the association was fantastic because we would actually go to the arts and culture ministry and say, hey, we are an association. So would you give us like lesser discounts like you give schools for operas, for orchestras, for plays, for all of that? And so it took us a while. It took us like 3-4 years, but they recognized us as a school entity, and therefore we got all the rights that school kids got. And so as an association, then the opera house came on board and the orchestras came on board, and they were like, yes. And so we got to go and see Yo-Yo Ma, like, you know, face to face and stuff like that. And that's beautiful to be able for our kids to see things like that is beautiful. And that's the power of an association, is that they can act as a bigger body where publicly it's recognized, and then you can have the you know, everything associated with that. In terms of that, we'll have to chat to Dr. Vivian, because it does come with challenges. If you're publicly known, they can go after you more as well. So there's a balance there of what you should and shouldn't be doing. The other thing that I would like to see is, as a net that we cast and create for the support system, is have somewhere where we can unite it all, where you can see that this is the SciPo homeschooling group and what they're doing, and they can invite people in and go, hey, we're doing violin lessons, who wants in? Because one of your kids might love violin, but you just don't know where to take them properly, or it doesn't fit with your schedule. And then suddenly there's this opportunity where you can travel. Yeah, you'll travel, but you'll do school while you travel. And then they can actually become part of another group and meet new friends. And then you can in turn meet new people who can support you. The other thing I'd like to see in the association is us creating educational leadership initiatives. Those are things that I've been involved in quite a bit. We created something called School Without Walls in Abu Dhabi. And now schools are on board with that. And that was a kayaking biology leadership program. And we got parents involved, because I'm very interested in connecting parents with kids and kids with parents, because that is the success of your journey. But involved in a flipped schooling classroom. So they learned the content, they then went out on the water, and it's hysterical because your parent has to learn leadership, your kid has to learn leadership, especially when you're both in a kayak and you want to go in a different direction. So it's a really great way for everybody to get on board to learn and do something. But those are the things we did there. It has to be locally, it has to have a local flavor here. What works for you guys? We want to see camps. Yeah. If you got high schoolers, we want to see like a high school dance, you know, things like that. Because my kids, both in high school, they're like, what's this prom thing? When are we going to do it? You know, and I'm like, well, we kind of can't, you know, so there's all those things that you just want to like your child to experience, but they can't necessarily experience because we're so busy just trying to function. Having said all of this, I'm very interested in sustainability. We don't want one person carrying more than what they need to functionally be at home. So this is where many people doing a little bit, their small part, creates the strength. It's not about one person functioning in a high capacity of something, because by default, then you're going against homeschooling and you're not giving your full attention to your child. So that's where sustainability is really, really important. So basically for me, I would love to help you guys and just put in a strategy, logistics, social architecture for you guys, holistic approach, be here for you emotionally, trying to figure out your learning styles, your teaching styles. There's some challenges that you'll go through, all of that kind of stuff, the kind of schooling that you need. So that's where I'm here, more from an emotional support point of view. So that's a little bit about myself. I could go on and on and on, but I'm going to hand it to Kiko. Kiko, you got to unmute.
I just first of all wanted to thank everyone for hanging around and showing up today. It is such a journey. I wanted to say, to start off, like, parenting in general is just such a journey. And when you homeschool, and I mean, add to that parenting experience, it's hard. It's not meant to be easy. And I think that homeschooling, it is a journey, and there are ups and downs. And part of it is being able to sit in the difficult moments where you don't know if you're doing the right thing for your kid, or your kid is not sort of in a space where they're not super motivated, or they're not sure about what they want to do. Those spaces are very, very challenging to be in, but that to understand that that is part of the process. And the beauty of homeschooling is having time to sit in that process. So it's like, you don't have to decide. You don't have to know. We can figure this out together. You can tell me what you need. We can try different things. We can stop those activities, you know, like, so I think there is such pressure for the kids these days. And there's so much pressure from parents too. I think a lot of it is fear-based. Nobody knows what the future is going to be like. Nobody really, I mean, there has been so many changes in terms of like the technology and just, you know, this like Web3 space. And I'm very honest with my kids that I actually cannot lead them into the future, that they need to be the ones leading. And I need to trust their decisions, even if they make the wrong ones. And that those wrong decisions are actually part of the steps to get to where they're supposed to go, but that I cannot take them there. So I think for me and the age group of my kids is really, I'm taking more of a back seat and giving them more agency to decide. And I feel like for us in the homeschooling journey that this group, I also would like to be able to just say, like, you know, ask your kids what they need. Let the community pull together to provide each kid what they need. So for example, if one kid is like, oh, you know, I need help with presentation skills, is get the kids together and be like, hey, we can do a Zoom call. There'll be all these random adults there, but they're all in support of what you want to accomplish for yourself. It's safe. And you can, you know, come out here and stumble and not do it right and get really constructive feedback and then try again. Like, it's not about coming out here and being perfect or having all the right answers. It's about coming out here and being vulnerable and saying, hey, I just want to try and see, or I'm curious about this, and I just need a safe space to try that out. And I think the kids are really, really lacking this kind of opportunity, because it's like, if you're not great at a sport, then choose something else. And if you don't know what you're going to do about your future, well, then you're kind of screwed, and you better sit down and think about what you're going to do and how you're going to spend your life. But I think it's not, you know, for them, their generation, I think that there will be quite a few career changes. So we in general talk about what do you want to try first? What do you want to do first? How do you want to contribute to the world right now? And what steps can you take to do those things? Like, basically removing all barriers to action. So, you know, a lot of the times it's like, it seems like you have all these roadblocks. It's like, I need to do this, and I need to do this first. I need to do this first. And I'm like, well, what can we do to eliminate those barriers to action? And then just get the kids to step forward, because actually in that step forward, whether it's in a right way or in a wrong way, it's still movement. and they will learn. So, you know, the more you mess up, that's the only way you get your wisdom, right? So don't listen to me and don't try to get it right. Just go out there and mess up and then come back and let's talk about what you learned in that process. So there actually isn't really like this path that you need to follow. It's really forging your own path and trusting your instincts and trusting. And that goes back to the parenting as well. It's that if I am parenting out of fear, if I'm teaching out of fear, I'm not actually trusting the process. And in doing that, I'm actually not in alignment. And your kids, if you want them to go out into the world and be successful, they actually need to be in alignment with themselves, what they say, what they do, what they think, how they act. And they can't do that if they're consistently worried about what their parents think or what other people think or whether or not they're doing the right or wrong thing. It's that those become barriers, actually. So for me, the homeschooling process is actually allowing space and time to do things at your own pace and doing it in a way that's right for you. So, you know, whatever education system it is, and I am not anti-school at all. I feel like some kids know and they enjoy the process, and that's great. And for other kids, it's just not. But, you know, I also think the future of education is customized learning, where you walk into a school and they say, hey, what are you passionate about? And we're just going to feed you these resources and you do your thing. And then when you are ready, you share your thing with your peers and they share their things with you and everybody gets to celebrate their differences. I think it's like education reform. But I think with homeschooling, it's really about giving the kids that opportunity to sit in it and not be rushed. And to learn in a way that they understand is how their brain works, how they can take in information, how they process and digest it, and then be able to then share that with other people. So it's a learning process. It's not really about getting the right grade or finishing the course. It's what am I getting from the course? How can I share this and contribute to the world and make it a better place? I don't know. But I'm here for questions. I'm here for just, you know, sharing ideas. I'm also, my kids are here for your kids. So if your kids want to chat about something or like play chess, or just, you know, wants to do their assignment together, you know, I'll actually, it's really funny because a lot of times my kids are on the phone with their friends that go to school and they'll be like, oh, I can help you with that assignment. Let's just talk about it. You know, and in that discussion, their kid that goes to school gets the support that they need, because sometimes it's not really about the actual assignment. It's about feeling alone in doing that assignment. And sometimes you just need that camaraderie to move on to the next level or to bounce ideas back and forth. And so my kids are available for that if anyone needs it. And same thing, I'm also here for that. So I guess that's it from me. I don't know who I'm passing it to, but next.
Okay, how old are your kids, Keiko?
So almost 17, 15, and almost 11.
Okay, almost same age as mine, actually.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I hear
Actually,
a lot of great story about your homeschooling journey, and thank you for our honored guest, Dennis. I really appreciate you joining us. It's our great honor to have you here. And also thank you very much for our team leader, Keiko and Danielle. Thank you for having the meeting. And thank you for everyone joining us. Today is really a great start for our Hong Kong Homeschool Association. We will try our best to do more, provide more support, provide more teaching method. I will invite the educator to give you talks, and we will have more meetings, meetups for the homeschoolers and also homeschool teachers. All right. Danielle, anything you would like to add on?
Well, you know, I know that we've gone over time, but does anybody have questions or concerns? Yeah, I'd love to open the floor. Come on. Yeah.
Sorry, did Stephanie want to just do a quick introduction? Because just because we can't see her on the video, she can still audio in the audio. Just give us a brief.
Okay.
If she wanted to.
Hi, thank you so much. Was that Keiko who said that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Keiko, I just love what you just shared. Thank you. I mean, what you were sharing before, that was so sweet. Sorry, I've been in and out. I'm in the US right now and kind of crazy. We're leaving in one day to come back to Hong Kong. So I am Stephanie. I've been on Facebook on the Homeschool Hong Kong Facebook group, kind of posting about the park days. So I'm really passionate about homeschooling and the building up the community of homeschoolers in Hong Kong. And Dr. Lai, thank you so much for leading this group and organizing it. And what you shared at the beginning, I was just like nodding my head and cheering. I was like so thankful and agreeing with you and all of your ideas. And I have 4 kids. They're 9, 7, 6, and 3. And we do an unschooling approach and a natural learning or interest-led learning. And I am from Minnesota, USA originally, but I've been in Hong Kong the last 17 years. My husband is from Hong Kong. And I used to be, before kids, I was a teacher in an international school in Hong Kong. And then I got this idea of homeschooling after I had my kids, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. And so we've been homeschooling for, I guess, since 2019 or 2020. And I just really look forward to meeting you all. I haven't been able to listen to the whole meeting, but I will listen to the recording, and I need to leave now. So thank you so much for this opportunity to introduce myself.
So thank you, Stephanie. Any other questions for today?
Another question is just I wanted to share something that I didn't share before. I share about my kids, but I didn't share about what I do. So me, I'm still Leslie, and I'm an artist, and I actually teach art, and I teach art to kids, to teen, to adults. So I just feel the joy that I can, I can provide some art education for the kids here. I can do, through online or through face-to-face if they come to me, or we can organize things. I don't know if it's something that you guys like to have in your curriculum, to have art, drawing and, getting better with expressing the kids, skills. So yes, this is just something that I've been doing for over 10 years. So, and I have my own method and I'm doing my own thing. I don't teach in school. So yeah. So I just wanted to put this out there. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It seems that we can really get some peer groups going on because, for example, my number 2 is definitely into art, into jewelry, and into nature. So I was just, when Stephanie said her children was 9, 7, and 3, they're the right age. And, how do we start these peer groups? I mean, putting the children with similar interests and homeschool mothers and fathers with similar interests together.
I think in Hong Kong, you can actually just post in the group what activity you want to do, list the age range, and if there's a specific place that you want to do it, or if someone is willing to host it, and just put the information out there. Back when we were in Hong Kong, so I've been homeschooling for a long time. We've been in Thailand for the last 4 years.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
Hello?
I'm driving right now, and I just picked up my daughter from gymnastics. We're in the US. Okay, but I'm so sorry, but I love listening to everything. And I would say, to answer the person's question, I can't see who it is, but if you're available, come to park days, because I think that's just a really easy way to meet people, and then you can find out your similar interests, and then it just goes from there. Because I think it is possible to do it online, like in a Facebook group, which I've mentioned that I plan to start one that is for present homeschoolers in Hong Kong. To get together, like to do things like that. But I think I like to be with people and like to see them in person. So if you come to a park day, then you can meet and just try and then meet and see each other's interests. And we've had park days for maybe, I don't know, a year or so. And when people come consistently or as best as they can, it doesn't matter, then you really do form friendships. And we are so looking forward to being back. And my kids ask me, like, what are you looking forward to? I'm like, I want to see our friends on our park days.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, join the park days. I think post, don't be shy, put it out there. If nobody is open to it, you can just, maybe it's a date thing. So give optional dates. I also think that, let the kids tell you who they like to spend time with. So if you go to a park day and there is one child that they bond with, or they have similar interests, that they can actually form a friendship, and it doesn't need to necessarily be a homeschooling thing. Trust your kids. But also that, if there's a bunch of kids and you can turn it into like a homeschooling, like a co-op or like a small class, then that's okay as well. So just do what works. There's really not like a template or like pre-existing way to do it. I think just put yourself out there. The Hong Kong community for homeschooling actually is quite strong, and many people do show up. So for many years, we did have weekly meetups, but then as those kids' ages progressed, the activities changed. And then at some point, they actually need much less support in terms of organizing. They will just organize themselves. And then also that their friendships are not limited to homeschooling kids, and that the majority of my children's friends are actually, they go to school, but then they connect on weekends, or they connect via chat and video games and, whatever sports or whatever activities that they were doing. So that would be my feedback.
I'll chime in here as well. Because I know that there's the homeschooling park days. I know it's really far from us, so it's not possible for us to get to. So it's not possible for everybody. But if you feel like that's something that you can carry, then start one. And then don't start it with you carrying it alone. Get a couple of moms who are friends, 3 or 4 of you, and say, hey, would you run one a month? Where you get the information out onto the Facebook site. And the Facebook site would be an amazing way to get the information out there. Whether someone responds or not is irrelevant. You just posting also shows that there is a structure, there's a support, there's something happening. Because let's be honest, sometimes it takes a couple of times for us to see it before we're brave enough to go, okay, let me try it. Yeah. And you can say, hey, PM me directly as well. But on the Facebook site, if we can do, like, you can make events. This event is happening, because then all the information goes in there versus being kind of like spammed by it and stuff like that. Yeah. So, guys, God has given you the intuition for your child. Okay, sorry, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to use that. So whatever you think has, the universe or what have you, they've given you the intuition for your child, right? And so trust that intuition. You've already trusted that intuition to even pull your kids out of school or to do something against the norm. And so if you really feel like your child needs something, whether it's social interaction or an extramural or something like that, you be the catalyst. Because I can guarantee that there's multiple other people who actually need that, but they're too scared to even try. Or they're just dealing with their stuff in their world that they wish someone else would actually just put it up there. And if you say, hey, I'll run one, is someone willing to run another? They'll say yes. The same with like doing a field trip club and stuff like that. When you do something like that, one parent for 1 month, which means in the whole year, you only organize one thing. That's the sustainability of it. So whatever initiative that you feel your child needs, put it out there. Hey, guys, who wants to start a rock climbing thing? Put it out there. You'll probably get a whole lot of people. And to turn that Facebook page into more of an informational, reaching out, connecting, don't be afraid to do that. It shouldn't be more professional. It should be more outreach. so that we know what's going on there, so that we can help each other. So by all means, man, go for it.
I think for some people, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. The formation of the WhatsApp group makes it more private, which is a lot of us are worried about, you know, the EDB jumping down on us and turning up on our doorstep and stuff like that. So I think this private section with WhatsApp is I think it's probably a little bit more appealing than putting it out there on Facebook. I think just some people are really super scared, right?
Yeah, I think for me, I've been homeschooling since 2000. Well, my first child was born 2007, and I've actively been on Facebook and in these forums, and haven't had an issue with the EDB.
Yeah.
My kids, all three kids are born in Hong Kong. I think there is a lot of uncertainty and fear, but even, you know, even if the EDB comes to you, they're not there to catch you. They're really just there to make sure that your kid is doing okay. And they actually don't focus on your kid. They focus on you and what your plan is for your kid. So it doesn't need to be something that to be afraid of at the same time, that there are no negative consequences to the EDB, but also like that they're really not actively seeking homeschoolers to catch, that they are really just, they serve a purpose in that vulnerable children who are put in neglectful circumstances. And that's really the primary objective of the EDB, is to make sure that all kids are educated, but really talking about these kids that are vulnerable, and not this active homeschool community where, you know, the main concern of the family is how do we teach and give our kids better opportunities. So I think in that respect too, it's just to calm everybody. I mean, it's also the number one question that I get is what, you know, the government and, you know, I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong, and what do I tell them? But that, you know, there's support to, if you have an EDB person coming, usually it's because you pulled your kid out of local school. If your kid went to international school and you pulled them out, the EDB would have no record of your kid anyway, because the EDB does not keep records of non-local schools. It's only if you were in a local school, you pulled your kid out, then by law, the school has to inform the EDB that your child is no longer attending school, in which case then the EDB would come. There has never been a case, as far as I understand, in the almost 17 years that I've been in the homeschool community, of negative EDB experience. They're not bad people, and they just want to make sure that there are no vulnerable kids.
That's really good to know. Thank you.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
no
people who are super scared about this.
Super scared, I know.
I personally don't care, but if they come onto my doorstep, I'm happy to have a chat with them. But there's so many people, and that's the number one question we see in the groups, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No worries at all. Also, just to say, the Facebook group, it's moderated, and the people who join the group, I kind of scan them first. So there shouldn't be too many random people in there in terms of, yeah. And also, like, you know, when you post an activity in the Facebook group, you would then organize all the smaller details in a WhatsApp group or in a side chat. So I think, and Hong Kong is relatively a safe place. It's really different from Canada or the States. I think the vibe is a little bit more cautious in those areas.
Sorry, actually I'm a bit lost in the Facebook or the homeschooling groups in Hong Kong. They're actually quite a field, and then some because I didn't, but a lot of them are actually put on like a park day or very outdoor, a lot of outdoor activities, which my daughters actually didn't really enjoy and keen on it. So slowly, then I didn't see much of them. And now I'm kind of like lost. Okay, which groups that we can be more refer, or maybe Keiko can give me list down some of the groups that we can join, or maybe Dr. Lai or us, we actually form a Facebook group, something like that. I don't know.
I think, like, you know, if your kid, why don't you ask your kids what they want to do? You know, and then post that, and then try to attract the people that are kind of in line with what your child wants to do versus putting them into, I mean, yes, there are general park days and the kids can show up and go and meet new friends. But I think if your kids have ideas about what they want to do, empower them. Let them make the post and say, you know, I want to spend a Tuesday at the beach and I'm 10 or I'm 7 and I'm just looking for other kids that like, and then list their specific thing and get the kids to go that way.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that this is a very good suggestion, but it's just that which groups that.
Yeah. So I think, so for me, I'm the Hong Kong Homeschool Group Administrator. I know Nettie is the other one. There's another group.
Hong Kong. Okay.
I'm the one, you know, with the green person. There's
The
like
green
a green
person.
sign. There's a green sign with like some random, I don't know how to, it's like the Hong Kong Homeschool Group. That's
it's called Homeschool HK.
Yeah, Homeschool HK.
Homeschool HK. And then there's another one that's called, I don't remember the actual name. It's something with resources in it. Like
Homeschool resources. It's the same.
Yeah, and that one isn't very active. That one's a little different. So the only one I know of is Homeschool HK. And
so I'm the administrator of that group.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I have to jump off because I've got another meeting I've got to go to.
No
I want
worries.
to say thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Vivian. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Keiko. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing your stories. I really appreciate it. And I'd love to contribute here, but I've got to run. Have a lovely day out there. Okay, it's not mums, it's dads as well. Don't worry.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Although it is mostly mums because you do the hardest work, right? And someone actually said to me, I'm just an ordinary full-time mum. Let me tell you, there's no such thing as an ordinary full-time mum. It's extraordinary, right? So love you all. Take care. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Keiko, I just checked. Yeah, I'm in that group. Okay.
yeah, you're in that group. And I think over COVID, I think it's kind of activity dwindled down. And then now I think slowly picking back up. But yeah, I think don't be afraid. You can also message me and say, hey, I want to do this. I don't want to post it. I can post it for you.
And can you give me a little time? I want to talk about, I have an idea. I want to form a homeschooler WhatsApp group and join all the please put all the homeschooler in there. And we will let them to organize some meet up together according to their interests, empower them to form the group by themselves. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. I think so. I think the kids should be also part of this, like just let everyone get involved and get them what they need.
Right.
Yeah. And I was planning on setting up, actually I already have, I just haven't made it public yet, another Facebook group for homeschoolers presently homeschooling in Hong Kong.
That's amazing. And I think build that community.
Thanks. I will. Thank you.
No worries. All right. Were there any other questions?
I have to go now. Thank you so much. I have to go.
Yeah, I have to go also. It was so nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So good to see you. Good day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. So any other question? If not, then I have to go too. I have another meeting coming as well. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you again for being a part of us. We need your continuous effort to make the Homeschool Association happen and to make more network, a very sustainable homeschool network for homeschool teacher and homeschoolers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lai, for all your work as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keiko, and thank you, Danny.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.